Welcome to the Mismatch. I'm Chris Vernon, and joining me as he does every week from TheRinger.com is Dave Jacoby. Jacoby!
An oddly interesting week of news in the NBA.
It was.
For like late September, it's oddly interesting.
Well, it's right around the corner. I am going to be covering a media day in Memphis on Monday. There are some teams that have already had their media days, and obviously by next week there will be a slew of said media days, and then training camp's going to get started, and then we're going to be in preseason games within the next 2 weeks.
Verno, Nick's Twitter is already on fire. This Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson thing is already like a real conversation in the group chat.
Oh, yeah. And we saw Jalen Brunson's comments on Tom Thibodeau that's made headlines everywhere. And there are other comments about Mike Brown already and his takeover of the New York Knicks. And so there is going to be a steady flow of news over the course of the next couple of weeks now as we head into media days, training camp, and preseason. But as we have been doing throughout this offseason, every once in a while, we will bring you 10 questions. We will start today with the following. I'm going to start with the Wemby question.
Wow.
So ESPN.com put up their list of the top 100 players in the NBA. There is a consensus top 4. I think anybody that made a list would have SGA, Jokic, Giannis, and Luka as the top 4 players in the NBA. Then the question always is, who is 5, right? Are you putting Curry there? Are you putting LeBron there? Are you putting Anthony Edwards there? You know, obviously there was a spot for Jason Tatum before he was injured, but obviously he's left off the list because he's going to be unavailable this season. But the ESPN.com panel chose Victor Wembanyama as the 5th best player in the NBA. Too soon?
I think it's important to acknowledge that this is not if you were to start a franchise, who would you take for the future list. This is a next season, who is the best player
correct
list, in which I would not have Wemby in that spot in any way, shape, or form. Let's take health aside. He will be on this list at some point, but not for this year. This year, I want Anthony Edwards. We're taking Halliburton off the list, right? I want Anthony Edwards. I want Steph Curry. Like, did we forget Steph Curry? I'll take LeBron James over Wemby. To win games next season, I would take those 3 names over him. If you look at the Ringer 100, it's Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Doncic, Steph, Ant-Man, Halliburton, injured, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Jason Tatum, and then Wemby. Wemby's like double digits.
Right.
If you look at the ESPN list, it's Jokic, SGA, Doncic, Giannis, Wemby, Ant, Steph. I'm taking Ant, Steph.
I mean, it's a way to get clicks. It's a way to get conversation.
Yeah,
but
talking about lists in sports media is ridiculous.
But the question becomes, should you have to have had a winning record before you are a top 5 player in the NBA? And I think most people would say yes.
Yes.
Here's a better question. If I always do this. If I lined them all up on a wall, I don't know if Wemby makes it past 5. Like
5?
If we're
does he make it past
teams,
10? If we're picking like to win a game right now, I might want Kevin Durant over Wemby right now
for an 82-game season.
No. I mean, to win a game. Yeah, to win a game.
Okay.
I think this is like, you know what? That's why I hate talking about lists, because I feel like this is sort of like they put that person at 5 to make us discuss it. It's just wrong.
All right, here's what I'm asking you. You would have put Curry 5? You think Steph Curry is the 5th best player in the NBA right now? It's not easy.
It's hard.
Not easy.
It's hard.
It's not easy.
It's hard because there's no
is,
wrong answers here. But
right.
like, I will forever be a. Are we talking about a season or a game? A season?
I'm talking about. I'm asking Dave Jacoby to
LeBron
rank
James. LeBron James.
5 best players in the NBA. You do not believe he is the 5th best player in the NBA right now.
Until he proves me otherwise, it's LeBron James.
He has, by his team not advancing. He has.
I'm a LeBron guy, man. Dude, I'm just watching play for 20 years. He's the best player.
But he's
prove me wrong.
He's not the best player on his team.
What got me, here's where the conversation turned interesting for me in my own head as I was prepping for this pod, is KD and Brunson. I would probably take Wemby over Brunson because of defense. I would probably take Wemby over KD because of defense. Would you?
I love Jalen Brunson. I do.
But he's a defensive liability. I'm a Knicks fan.
I got it.
We got a DPOY guy versus like the guy that you, when the clock is ticking down, that you isolate.
Look, here's what I'll say. Is it totally possible that Victor Wembanyama is one of the top 3 players in the NBA this upcoming year? That's a real thing that could happen, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
It has not been accomplished yet, right? Should you have had a winning record? Should you have had to be in the playoffs before we vault you into a different category, right? Like,
yes.
All right. So there's a lot of people, let's just liken it to the NFL, right? This is the year of the Justin Herbert ascent. So far, right? But people have always...
It's week 3, but
understood.
Sure. Yeah.
Bro, that throw he made this past weekend was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. When he is running to his left and throws that thing across his body to Keenan Allen. But the point is, people have always loved the talent. It appears as if this is going to be a year that talent pays off in winning and losing and statistics, right? And Victor Wembanyama has not been a part of a winning team yet. And so that's why when he is ranked ahead of a guy that was the best player on the team that just went to back-to-back Western Conference Finals as the best player on that team, and Anthony Edwards, right? It's fair to say this guy should have accomplished more before we vault him into one of the top 5 players in the NBA. But I also do get torn on where would I take him, because he is an absolute freak of nature.
Absolutely. Just the height and what he did in Washington. Remember that Washington game? He scored like 50 or whatever. It was just like insane. But Anthony Edwards, again, like last summer, he was like, I'm going to shoot threes now.
Right.
Like, let's not forget that. Like, he didn't really shoot threes like he did a year ago today. He was like, I'm going to shoot threes now. And he ended up shooting 40%, 41%.
This is setting it up.
At 9 again.
Look, I will say this, and we have seen this happen before. This sets you up completely for the Wemby backlash. That's the only thing this does. It's going to be so hard to deliver on being a top 5 player. It's going to be very difficult to deliver on that for him to be considered one of the 5 best players in the NBA. It is much more likely that his team is right. Because what we say is I would view it like this. If you've got a top 5 player in the NBA, your team should be awesome. That's it.
Yeah. It's
it.
Rare. Yeah.
That's it. That's the deal. And so is his team going to be awesome? It's possible. But wait, they have not taken that step.
He's how do I say this? Things have happened around him that weren't his fault.
Of course.
Popovich stroke. Like, I think if Popovich was at the helm, I'd feel differently about the Spurs. And
they also don't have good enough players around him.
The blood clot is like just a freaky thing that just happens because he like moves his right arm too much, and it's like clavicle got in the way of some vein. Like it's just not like an ACL tear or something that like really you can say he's injury prone. So I think that things have happened around him and to him, but not necessarily his fault, which is why I give him a little bit of grace. But top 5, hell no. No, just no. Does anyone think he's top 5? Seriously?
It's literally on the biggest sports site in the world.
I know, but they do this to make us talk about it, which is why I'm moving on to my second question.
Do it.
What do you make of this little rumor, news story, headline about LeBron James and Maverick Carter starting this like live golf basketball semi-European new league thing? And before you answer, I'll say this, that like, we've all heard, oh, he wants to be an owner at some point. We all saw what Michael Jordan did, which is safe and within the community. And it's sort of the trajectory of a GOAT or baby GOAT. But this is something else. What do you think about LeBron and Mav and that group competing with the NBA with a new league?
I think it's a nightmare if you're Adam Silver to have, if this is what he does after he walks away, I would try to find, I think it's a leverage play to get involved with the NBA.
So you think this is negotiation?
Yeah, like, look what I can do if you're not going to let me in the good old boys club. If you're not going to let me be an owner for a new team, watch what I can do. And people like that have to be taken seriously. You know me, I'm a golf fan, right?
Yeah.
Greg Norman bitched for years and years. And then Phil Mickelson bitched for years and years. And then they went and they got the Saudi backing and they started this live league. They say, nobody's going to care about what Phil Mickelson's doing and nobody's going to care whatever, which is true, right? Like, they have not gotten the numbers for. They have gotten in-person that has become a much bigger event, but as a television product, it has not taken hold. But here's the problem. They got Bryson DeChambeau, and they got Brooks Koepka, and they got John Rahm, and they got Dustin Johnson, and they got Cameron Smith, and they got Joaquin Neiman, and they got they just kept getting guys right from golf. And so you don't want to lose. And it's not like the PGA has floundered and LIV has succeeded because of what they took, but it hurt both products. And my thing would be, to me, it feels like a leverage play, like, look what I could do. I would say, honestly, it would have a much more profound effect on the women's game. They're the ones. Because the problem with the PGA was
First of all, I just want to pause you. This is a good take. I like this. This. Continue.
All right. So it would have a much more profound effect on the women's game, especially with their collective bargaining coming up, especially with them talking about, they make a paltry amount of money to do what they do.
And we all know they make their money in Russia and other countries in the offseason.
Right. So I do think that you would be able to poach the best women's players very easily. The men's players, that's very hard. I think you would have to find guys that, because right now, you're on track. If you're making $70 million if you're on a max deal right now. The problem with the PGA was those guys, you looked up and LIV was going to pay you infinitely more money than you could ever make. Like, guys have already made more on LIV than they did in their entire career. Somebody like Dustin Johnson has made more playing in a golf tournament that you didn't watch than he did in 12 years of PGA Tour earnings, right? And what the PGA did then was they turned around and they said, oh my God, look at all this money that we have. I guess they just opened up some random door and they were proven, right? The Mickelsons and the Normans were proven right? There was more money to give to the players. So the play here that LeBron's making is he's saying, there's also more money for the players. Look at what these franchises are being sold for. We will give you player equity into this thing, right? Here's where I say it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare if the numbers do get absurd. And when you're dealing with oil money and you're dealing with...
It's Saudis. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Let's be honest. It's Saudis.
Again, it's kind of like the best of the best ones. And I think there were a lot of guys that had already been made whole. Like with their PGA Tour careers. They were already rich, and so it's like, okay, do I really want to? But there were certainly some that decided to. I think that, to me, this is a set this up. Hey, just understand we can do this.
I have a plan B. If you don't let me exercise
Correct.
plan A, which is owning a team in Vegas or Seattle or whatever, I have a plan B. So you got to sweeten the pot for plan A and make sure that it happens, Mr.
Well,
Silver.
and this is
no,
always.
No, hold on.
Hold on. Let me just real quick. I just want to just to say it was always, even Rory McIlroy, who was he's the one that was like, I hate live and all this kind of stuff. Like, even Rory McIlroy was like, we should have found a way to just get that money involved with us, right? And that's what they were saying. They were like, absolutely not. We're not letting you in. You're not going to be a part of this. And so that is, to me, that is what the NBA, that's the bridge that you have to cross. And you just have to say, okay, we would rather be in partnership than competition with.
You say it's a nightmare for Adam Silver, and I agree, but here's where my mind went. Somewhere, Ice Cube is like, what the fuck, LeBron? Somewhere Ice Cube is like, I already did this. Like that sort of like MLS third act of your career.
Right.
Like, I did this already, LeBron, and now who's going to play in the big three?
Right.
If you've got that sort of like, when you're 35, where do you play league? You know, like O'Shea Jackson is so pissed off right now. Yeah. And Mav Carter has 7 missed calls from O'Shea Jackson right now being like, what the fuck are you doing? This is my corner. Get off of it.
Well, and the other thing is, I mean, if I am the NBA, I'm like, hey, hold on this. Let's figure out how we could be partners and not competitors.
Well, that was a news story from 6 months ago, was like Adam Silver wants to create this sort of like global NBA extension league. And now the news story today is LeBron wants to do it himself. But I agree with you, and we can move on. This is a leverage play. Yeah. This is LeBron saying, I am not going to play in the NBA for 4 more years. I'm going to have the second act of my career, and it's going to be very lucrative, and I'm going to own a franchise or a league. Which one do you want me to do, and how do you want me to do it, Mr. Silver?
Yes. And I am of the opinion that the NBA should be in partnership with rather than competition, because I just watched it unfold the other way, and it's not good for anybody, and it's worst for the fans.
Yes. And there are some people that will happily fund with billions of dollars a LeBron James, Maverick Carter led league.
Absolutely. Next question. Last year, I said I was done with Zion, that it was
definitively.
It was never going to be what it should be. Should I be back in after the unveiling of Skinny Zion at a press conference? Oh, he looks unbelievable.
He looks so good.
He looks unbelievable.
He had a haircut. The goatee was shaped up. He looks really good. But to answer your question is no. No.
Do not get back in.
How many times
every
time to go through this? Like, how many times do we have to go through this? Yeah, he looks great. I did a little bit of research because, not a lot of news. So I did some research for the pod. Games played in his career. Year 1, 24. Year 2, 61. Year 3, 0. Year 4, 29. Year 5, 70. Year 6, 30.
But we're about to extension time.
Oh, no. Would you give him an extension?
No, I'm saying that's why, like, this is oh, wow. He really just decided to get in shape after.
No. Do you remember when Stan Van Gundy was the coach and he was like sort of like the ball handler and pick and rolls, and sort of they ran the offense through him, and he was just absolutely dominating? Scoring 27 points a game. I loved that version of Zion.
Him and Lakers coach JJ Redick ran that same play 1,000 times in Memphis.
Spammed it.
And I remember coming on the air the next day and said, unless the Grizzlies can sign Aaron Donald, I'm unsure what we're supposed to do. Like, He was too fast for Steven Adams. He was bodying Dylan Brooks, and Dylan Brooks is big. And it was like, I've never seen anything like this. This is like something out of a movie. He was an absolute force of nature. And so, look, I've seen him in person several times now, and every time I see him, I'm like, my God.
Point Zion. When Stan Van had him being point Zion, it was like, oh, this is no answer to this. There's no antidote. You lose.
I mean, here's why. This is why I always get pulled back in, Jacoby.
Why? No, Chris Vernon.
Because
we were on this podcast and you said, I'm out.
I know.
And you declared it. Are you a man of your word or not?
I know. But that might have been after the Mariah Mills pictures. I can't remember.
Shout out to you for knowing her name.
Here's what I know.
You've done some Google searching.
I for sure have not.
Capital B, capital B, capital L.
Here's what I know. The full, healthy, in shape version of him.
Bro, we can talk about Embiid, we can talk about Kawhi, we can talk about Zion. But it just never exists.
But if it did.
What are you doing? I feel you're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself.
I am just always tantalized by the idea of, oh my God, if it ever did come together, like those guys are all, come on, Kawhi and Embiid, like we got the best of them. We saw the best of them. We never seen the full version of this.
Do you remember where you were Zion's first game? I remember exactly where I was.
I remember him hitting the threes.
The threes. Yeah, he hit like 3 threes in a row. And I was just like, I didn't expect this. I didn't see this at Duke. I have no idea what happened. But now this guy's going to shoot 50% from 3 and be able to windmill 360 dunk in the middle of a game. Like, This is the best basketball player I have ever seen. You remember that very first game?
Yes.
But he's not that guy anymore. And Verno, you need to get on the therapist couch.
I know.
How many times does this man need to disappoint you before you realize that he is disappointing?
But you see how skinny he looks. He looks so skinny.
He looks great. The haircut.
I even saw.
Great.
Did you see that Alvarado pass in the training camp?
Oh,
and
no, dude, I did.
His head's above the rim, and I'm like, yo!
I started looking at the Western Conference, and I was like, are the Pelicans a play-in team? That's what I started doing.
I don't think there's anybody. I can't remember anybody like him where it's like, bro, I think this guy would be a top 10 player in the league if he could stay healthy, but he, and not be fat. Like, I mean, I got it. Those are two big ifs.
I think
that, but I'm just always tantalized on what it could be.
Post LeBron, because LeBron was, we all know what he was in high school and what he was in the league. It's Flag, Zion, and Wemby are the 3 like unicorns, the 3 like aliens. And sometimes that works for you, sometimes that works against you. And I feel like in Zion's case, the idea that he's Charles Barkley that has a vertical that can do what he does and athleticism that can do what he does works against him. I think his physical stature works against him and will keep him off the floor. And I hope that's not true for Wemby.
I hope so too. So, all right, you're convincing me. And look, we get 20 games into the season, and this bastard's averaging 30 a game and is a highlight reel every single night. And he starts
I can tell
windmilling
from
on
the look on your
heads.
face. I have not convinced you. I can tell I have not convinced you.
I want to believe.
You're like you're the buddy with the bad girlfriend that cheated 3 times. And you're like, no, we're good now.
I know.
That's exactly what you're doing right now. And I'll let you date her. Go ahead.
You can date her. Go ahead. I was done. I said I'm done. I can't do this. No, but
you said it with your chest.
I know. I got burned
one
one last time. I felt like I got burned one last time. But then he came back. But he came back so skinny.
He does look good. For me, it was like the haircut.
I was done. But I was
the whole
done.
Thing.
So, I mean, I don't want to continue this analogy, but let's just say, bro, that cheating girlfriend, like she
cheated on you twice, like with your buddy too.
But now
You know
she came back super hot.
That's bad for you. That's bad for you.
But you would understand.
No.
Yes, you would. You'd be like, dude,
No.
I got it. Like, she didn't look like that before.
Well, listen, we'll be doing this pod forever, and you're going to regret this. I promise.
Okay.
Moving on. I found this interesting. VanVleet news. It's just terrible. And we did this pod last year, and the Rockets were in a swoon in the middle of the season. And I credit you for saying this. You're like, because Fred VanVleet is hurt, they need an organizer. They need a table setter. They need someone to run this offense. When he comes back, they'll be fine. And ultimately, they were, right? Yep. How much does the VanVleet injury change your expectations for the Rockets this season?
Critical loss to me. I text you this when it happened. It's not sometimes the individual talent of the player. We talk about this a lot. It is how that player allows everyone else to function, right? It's not, you cannot look. Like, basketball is a team sport. As much as we focus on the individuals and their stats and what they shoot from three and what they do, right? It is a team sport. And so how does it make the whole thing go? How much better? And to me, VanVleet has always been one of those guys that makes his teammates better. Now, you can use statistics to figure that out. And you can say, when he went out last year, one of the things that happened on a regular basis was their turnovers went up. Well, surprise, surprise. He's in like the 95th percentile of not turning the ball over every time. So that is extra possessions for the opponent. Also, their steal numbers went down, right? Because he's the point of attack defender. And so now, in a league where so many games are decided in the fourth quarter, 4 or 5 possessions can swing a lot of games. Last year, when Fred VanVleet was in their lineup, they were 41-19, okay? They won 52 games, Jacoby. So you can do the quick math here.
41-19.
So they were 11-11. They were a 500 team without Fred VanVleet last year.
We talked about it, and
yes.
I was concerned about the Rockets, and you quickly just said, oh, they don't have Fred VanVleet. He makes it work.
Yes.
And rarely will I compliment you. Rarely will I compliment you. But you were absolutely right then. And the second this injury news came out, I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem, especially when you are integrating a Kevin Durant figure into your offense.
And because I always roll my eyes when people, like, to me, the underrated thing is the guy that sets the table, the adult, the organizer. And I can't tell you how many teams I have argued about this where it's like, oh, well, they could just have him do it, or they could just have him do it because Phoenix said, oh, we could just have him do it. We could just have him do it. No, you can't. And New Orleans said, we could just have him do it. We could just put C.J. McCollum at point. No, you can't. And San Antonio said, oh, we could just put Jeremy Sohan, or we could just put this guy. No, you can't. And Minnesota tried to go away from Mike Conley last year. No, you can't. Right? They tried to. And then they had to put him back in the lineup because he sets the table and he gets everybody in their spots, gets the ball moving. Miami last year played a whole season basically without, right? Like, okay, we'll just have Tyler Hero be the ball handler. Like, you still need the ball handling guy. You still need the guy that's running the show, whether or not that guy is a primary scorer.
There are many teams where that guy is a scorer,
yes.
But sometimes that guy is just a table setter.
Absolutely.
He's just like in crew, like the guy at the top of the boat that doesn't row, but he's just like telling you what to do.
Well, and this is the reason I say it is critical is because the margins are so small, right? We view Houston, and we talked about this a lot last year, Jacoby. We view them through the prism of a team that got a 2 seed last year. But they had 2 more wins than the Lakers, and they had 2 more wins than the Nuggets, and they had 2 more wins than the Clippers.
4
and they had
wins out of the play-in.
3 more wins than the Wolves, and 4 more than the Warriors and the Grizzlies, who were 7-8. So the margins are so small. That's why something like this. The other thing is, you had a team that won 52 games last year. Player number 1, player number 2, and player number 3, in terms of your point guard, your shooting guard, and your small forward, are all different now going into the season. All three of them.
You're going a little far here. You're going a little far here.
They are.
But you got Kevin effing Durant.
Okay, so did Phoenix.
Yeah, you added Kevin Durant.
So did Phoenix. Phoenix had him, remember?
Kevin Durant will raise your ceiling and lower your floor. And I feel like Fred VanVleet was a big part of raising the floor to calm that variability.
Oh, I remember. You remember Durant's in the playoffs last year with the wait.
That's rude.
He wasn't in the playoffs.
He's about to tweet you.
I mean,
X. He's about to X you, whatever it's called.
Sometimes we just got to stop living 5 years ago. But I'm saying is Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, and Dylan Brooks, I'm saying you still have to build continuity. That's a team that just moved up to being a team that won 52 games. And no matter what, you're dealing with a new group. This is a totally different team than the one that had the success last year.
But here's what I don't want to hear.
That's what I'm telling you.
I don't work for the Rockets. I'm not at every practice. I don't know them as intimately as the head coach does. But Ime Udoka did not play Reed Shepherd, and he did not play Reed Shepherd for a reason.
Yes.
I would say that his minutes versus where he was drafted, the capital that the Rockets invested in him versus the amount of time that he spent on the floor was a little out of whack. And I think it was out of whack for a reason. And I don't think that you can have Reed Shepherd step into that role and have it be a seamless transition, especially when you add the Kevin Durant element.
Look, you've already decided that you're trying to win now. That's why you went and got Finney Smith. That's why you re-signed Steven Adams.
Wait,
That's why you went and got Kevin Durant. Huh?
Did you say Kenny Smith?
No. I said, what? Finney Smith. Finney Smith.
Oh,
Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah. They went and got him. Like you built the team to win.
This is a championship team. They're like, we're the number 2 seed. We're adding Kevin Durant.
And you've got vets all around. You're not throwing in second-year Reed Shepherd to run the show for that team. They will make a move to go find somebody to take that spot. And when they do, then we can recalibrate. I'm saying as it is currently constructed, this is a critical injury that demands replacement. And if they don't replace him, yes, I will have them much further down in the standings than I would have previously.
I loved Reed Shepherd in college. Sure. I don't know him personally, and we didn't see much of him last year outside of the G League. But something tells me that this news made him a little nervous. Don't you think? Don't you think he's like,
maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. Maybe he looks at it and goes, this coach hates my guts. Like, I need to get somewhere. I mean, players want to play. Players want to play.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's being thrust into the spotlight in a role that he is not ready for, and we will see.
I don't know if he'll be thrust into it. I bet they make a move.
I listened to Bill's pod, and they proposed a million moves, and I didn't see any of them that worked for the team that the Rockets were trading for. You know what I mean? It's like, why would the Celtics give up Peyton Pritchard for Reed Shepherd? Like, why?
Right.
They all seemed like Rockets heavy moves.
Also not a organizing point guard, not a point of attack defensive point guard. Like Fred VanVleet is
was perfect. He is perfect for this role.
He's a very unique player too. There's not a lot of guys like him. Just solid, steady. Yes. He doesn't turn the ball over. He calms everything down. He can control pace of play. He's always going to play hard.
And I think a lot of people think of it as, Kevin Durant got hurt and the Raptors won the finals. But Fred VanVleet had a game. I think it was game 6 in the Bay. Like, he had a game.
Yep.
Like, he closed that series. All right, moving on.
All right, next one. Zach Lowe and Chris Ryan drafted their favorite teams that never made the finals. Okay. And they went through like several years. And I thought it was a relatively comprehensive list of good teams because even the ones that they did not mention, there was a lot of honorable mentions given by Zach Lowe. I really liked this bit. I was jealous of this bit. So now I'm going to absolutely steal it and ask you, Jacoby, your favorite teams from the best, the ones that you enjoyed watching or had a liking that you really liked that never made an NBA Finals.
I've got a couple here. First of all, I want to say that Zach Lowe and Chris Ryan are my favorite team. And I will second that by saying, and I think that this is an easy one, the Steve Nash, peak Amari Stoudemire, pick and roll, 2004, 2005 Suns were
the Jack McCallum book.
Just an absolute joy to watch. It was just like Steve Nash dribbling in circles and Amari just alley-oop dunking and hitting mid-range shots when he wouldn't roll. He'd pick and pop. He'd pick and roll.
Sean Marion.
Like, it was just like
our
Jalen Anthony Rose was involved a little bit later.
Our ringer compadre Raja Bell.
Yeah, like that team it's just like, I just wish they won a championship so they could sort of hang a banner and be remembered forever. That was one of the teams. And my second team this is really more vibes than like good basketball. Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony were on the same team.
Oh, the Nuggets.
Like, and they were on the same team.
Right.
And like Iverson hadn't really, he was kind of over the hill, but he was just a quarter of the way down the other side. He could still it wasn't like your Memphis Allen Iverson, you know what I mean? Or like the Pistons Allen Iverson. He was still like,
you mean the 4 games that I got?
Yeah.
Do you know Allen Iverson never played a home game in Memphis?
No.
Yes.
I've seen him in the uniform.
We started the season on the road. A West Coast road trip.
He never played in Memphis?
Never. He never played a game in Memphis.
That was such a weird offseason for him. Because I remember I was working on Sports Nation, and I made a topic. I was a producer on Sports Nation. I was like, there's been no offers for Allen Iverson all offseason. And I remember they went to the newsroom and they're like, you can't say that because we don't know that. I'm like, guys, no one has offered Allen Iverson a contract.
So I obviously I was on afternoon radio at that time. And in that day and age, this is several years ago, like
what year is this? Like 2007, 2008?
I don't know. But I mean, there is a song that we still have it somewhere recorded. That I sang and performed called My Butt Hurts. And it was...
Say that again. Say it again.
My butt hurts. Hey, listen to this. It was in honor... It was in honor of... Hey.
You were so serious. I'm sorry.
No, it's real.
The song I sang and recorded called My Butt Hurts.
The reporters, after the game, asked Allen Iverson if he was injured. And he said to them, my butt hurts from sitting on the bench.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes. My butt hurts from sitting on the bench. And we never saw him again. We never saw him again.
You go to the Pistons after that? Pistons?
He was gone. So we had, it was all a weird thing. Lionel Hollins, was like, I'm done with this guy. I don't want a part of him. It was all an owner thing. God rest his soul. The owner of the Grizzlies at that time was this guy named Michael Heisley. Michael Heisley was a self-made billionaire, and Michael Heisley went to Georgetown. So we always loved Allen Iverson. So against everybody's wishes, he always wanted to sign Allen Iverson.
They had a meeting, and everyone's like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And he's like, because I hear you. I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. And our coach can figure it out. And then the second he started Mike Conley over Allen Iverson is like, to hell with this. I'm not doing this.
Yes.
I'm not doing this. I'm
There's
not
a lot of
backing up Mike
stories.
Conley.
There's a lot of stories I've heard about Allen Iverson that I will not share into this
Yep.
microphone, and we can talk about on our own time. But that was one of my favorite teams. Like the idea that Carmelo and Allen Iverson are not supposed to be on the same team, but they were.
Yep.
It does not work. Like, it's just like, it doesn't work. But I love it so much.
A couple of the ones, and I would encourage everybody to go listen to the low post of that episode because it's really good. But a couple of the ones I didn't mention that were some teams that I guess had a personal affinity for, but like most of those teams were like good teams that like had a chance, maybe, and maybe you feel like they fell short for some reason. Maybe it was an injury, or maybe something went wrong, or maybe they ran into a buzzsaw, whatever. But ones that like came to my mind, I remember finding it so enjoyable watching that Kenny Atkinson Brooklyn team before they got like the Jared Dudley, DeMari Carroll, D'Angelo Russell, the ones that were doing all the celebrating and like everybody.
They were woo walking. It's called woo walking. It's like a Brooklyn thing.
They loved each other.
Was Karis LeVert?
Yeah, Karis
LeVert. Dudley and those guys, like they were the reason.
Jared Allen.
That everybody came there because the vibes were so good.
Oh, so good.
The woo walking on the sideline was something that was just like so. I was like, first of all, none of you are from Brooklyn. It's a very like local Brooklyn dance, but they would do it, and I was like, none of you are from Brooklyn. You're assimilating this, but it's fun, working so well. They were so much fun. Who they played the Sixers in the playoffs? Yeah, I think they went to 6 games, but they took the Sixers. Like the Sixers, they made the Sixers sweat.
You just remember thinking they have no business doing what they're doing, but they are not only are they doing it, they're fun to watch, and their bench is elite. One of the best vibes you've ever had for a team. The other one I weirdly put down was the Oklahoma City team with Chris Paul. I had so much respect for that team when they just threw it together. Chris Paul did not want to be there.
Right?
When they made the Westbrook trade, and then they put him there, and it was like him and Danilo Gallinari and like that whole crew, and it's like, what is this team? And they he drugged them to like a 5 or 6 seed, something like that. Like I just remember respecting that team and being like, man, I hope they win. It reminded me a little of those old Rockets, like Kyle Lowry, Shane Battier teams.
Well, because I've been so used to watching players like Chris Paul, quote unquote, ring chase, and he has done like the opposite. Oh, yeah. Honestly, he's just like, I want to go play with Wembanyama, and we're not gonna win, but I'm gonna go to San Antonio.
Them.
I'll be around Popovich. I'll be around Wembanyama. I'll be a part of that legacy. And I think that if you were to give SGA 3 cocktails at a bar, he would tell you how important Chris Paul was.
You don't have to give him any cocktails.
Yeah.
He did it right before the NBA Finals. You remember when Paul showed up? He was like on the front row. He loves them. He always he talks about a lot more about. I thought it was fascinating when he kind of opened up about it because SGA is not somebody that we know a bunch about, and he was saying, I've learned a lot more off the court. Right? How to manage a family, how to manage a marriage, how to manage being out of town, how to manage finances, how to manage health and wellness and the stretching and the diet and like all kinds of things that like he can glean from a guy that's played 20 plus years in the NBA that he like really took to heart. And obviously, look, it has helped him become the best version of himself. You got to give Chris Paul credit for that.
I also think that while neither you nor I think Wembanyama is a top 5 player at the moment, in 3 or 4 years when he's gotten MVP, Chris Paul's name will come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Not a well-liked guy either. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes the strictest teachers are the best teachers. You know what I mean?
I think that's totally fair.
This was a little news story that really piqued my interest. The two of us have like almost 50 years of combined sports media experience.
Okay.
What do you think about Kyle Lowry being added to the NBA on Prime team while currently being a player?
Number one, to your original point about the levels of experience, this makes me feel extremely old as I covered rookie Kyle Lowry in Memphis. And so now he is a full-grown adult.
Forgot that he started in Memphis. Yeah.
Yes, he did. I love Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry is going to be great on television. And Amazon's got like 66 regular season games. So they're going to be on. They got the NBA Cup. I have told you, I think the Amazon team, I have very high hopes for them. I think Rooks with Blake Griffin and Dirk are going to be great. Oh, yeah. I think they're going to be great. Candace Parker and Dwayne Wade also, I think, part of their broadcast. Look, I've seen Draymond get put into the broadcast already on TNT.
This isn't brand new. Yeah,
no,
like Jalen
no,
did it when he was playing. Like this isn't like an unprecedented thing. Yeah.
No, and I mean, obviously he's there kind of as a Udonis Haslem, Nick Collison-esque role on his 76ers team. It's not like he's going to be playing a bunch of minutes and he's going to be a huge part of the Sixers. I think Kyle Lowry has a great personality. I've always thought that. And I think he's going to be a natural when it comes to broadcasting. And so I like it. I think it's smart. I think it's one of those, to me, I don't think he'll be on all that much throughout the year, but he'll get reps. And to me, this is more of this guy's going to be an amazing free agent the second his career's over. And so let's go ahead and get him in our fold. You know what I mean? To me, that's what
I've always felt about Draymond is,
yes.
I've been doing this a very long time. And early on, I was like, Draymond, when he stops playing, is going to be in media and he's going to be very successful. And he has already proven that. And I don't know about Kyle Lowry's personality enough to say the same, but it is an investment. It's also Kyle Lowry signaling to the world, my career on the court is going to end shortly.
Yes.
But I'm planting seeds to have a successful one.
If I'm Amazon, I think it's brilliant to get him in the fold now. And whatever he does this year. And it's kind of a cool little wrinkle. Hey, there's a current player also.
It is cool because he is in the meetings. They are game planning for people.
That's right.
And, so that you do have a certain, when you've played against current players, you have a certain level of analysis that other people do not.
Correct. And so I do think, and the other thing is that, and also point guards, they see the game and they see, they point guards always have an attention to detail, right? Time and score, plays, where somebody's supposed to be on the court. Like they're just in charge of so much that many times they end up becoming very good at seeing the game as a broadcaster as well. And so I just think getting him in the fold, and then you've kind of got, you've got dibs on him when he retires, and he'll be a good one to have.
I won't name names, but everyone listening knows them. It's not always the case, but let's move on.
Not always the case.
Not always the case.
I mean,
let's not name names.
Why not? You're talking about Magic.
You're talking about Magic. I didn't name names.
No, you're talking about Magic.
Let's move on.
Mark Jackson was part of it for a long time. All right.
Hand down, man down.
There's some guys so far that have not been signed. Precious got signed. You see that? Are you going to root for Precious in Miami? As a former Knick, do you have love for Precious?
He not only is he a former Knick, he's also a New Yorker.
Also a former Memphis Tiger.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Precious.
I will be rooting for him in the very limited minutes that he gets in Miami.
All right. I sent you a list of the player or players on the list. I sent you a list of guys that still have not signed with teams. So best available free agents. And I told you, don't do like Kuminga and some of the guys that we know are going to be on teams.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Right. As you went down the list. So if you ignore the top of the list.
There's only one person to talk about. There's there's only two people to talk about.
Who are you most surprised does not have a team?
There's two people to talk about on this list. And again, like we're ignoring the like obvious ones. Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons. Because these are two of the most talked about, controversial might not be the word, but sort of like interesting players
Polarizing.
that we've had. Polarizing is a good word. That we've had in the last decade. Like Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook are just interesting players. Russell Westbrook was getting prime time minutes, making game-winning plays for the Nuggets 4 months ago, and is not on a team.
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs. You know what I'm talking about. Kicked it out to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon hits a three. Like, that was a huge play. And he's on the floor to finish a huge playoff game against the Clippers. And he's not on a team.
If you have him, you have to play him. That is the difference between him and Simmons.
But if you're a GM,
Simmons might not want to play.
If you're a GM,
that's where we break though. Like if you like Russell Westbrook is going to be the pouring with sweat before your practice starts and is going to be like doing everything he can to be the best player that night, right? And he might, and obviously he is incapable of being the best player on the floor that night, but he is going to work like that, and you are going to have to play him, or it's going to be a problem. Ben Simmons might just be happy that you're paying him.
I think that's a good thing to point out when you talk about these two humans. I think that they both approach the game very differently. One is going 100 miles an hour, 100% committed, and one is like, this is my side hustle.
Well, Ben Simmons had a chance to be on the Knicks already.
But I also feel like Russell Westbrook is a fish that when you put it in the fish tank, it might upset the chemistry. You know what I mean?
I'm unsure that he has ever made somebody worse, though. I know people have drawn that. And you could say, well, he didn't make
the Houston Rockets thing.
I got it. But
did he make the Rockets better?
I mean, I would have probably rather had Chris Paul, but
if he was signed by the Grizzlies, would you be happy about it? I would not want him to sign with the Knicks. I would not want him to sign with the Knicks. If they signed him for a minimum, I would be like, that's not.
I just don't think it's a right fit either.
It's just.
But it is hard to find.
It's a net negative. I think it's a net negative. Right. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of positive, but it's a net negative, is what I would say. But I think it's fascinating that he was such
he'll end up like
player for the Clippers. I mean, the Nuggets last year.
You know where he should end up. You know where he should end up.
Pelicans.
Miami. That would be perfect. He's like a Riley type of guy, and who gives a shit anyway? You're not winning anything. And it gets you know what I mean? It's him and Adebayo while Tyler Hero's out. It makes him a lot more watchable. I'd rather watch him playing than Terry Rozier.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Put Russell Westbrook on Miami.
Let's report it right now. Miami.
I already have. Oh, look! Did you see how many people hit me up for reporting Taylor Swift's engagement?
Yeah, you're too scared.
I'm on it.
I'm reporting. David Jacoby's reporting. Russell Westbrook's going to sign.
You are most surprised that those two are not on teams.
Those are the two that are most interesting to me.
Do you think that either of them will not be on a team when we start the NBA season, or both won't be on teams? I do wonder.
Wow. It is. It's September 26th.
It is. Training camp's next week.
I would not be surprised if those players were not on teams.
Do you think, and this is break glass in case of emergency, oh my God, I lost a guy. And obviously, they're hard capped in Houston. They're not going to do that with the VanVleet front. But I'm saying somebody is going to lose their starter and or backup and okay, this guy is better than our other options.
I would say that I think that we will see Russell Westbrook in the NBA this season, I am not so sure about Ben Simmons.
Wow.
I don't think that there's a mutual interest for him to play NBA basketball and the NBA to want him to play basketball.
Are you glad he said no to the Knicks?
Absolutely.
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want to revisit that one?
No.
You just don't want to root for Ben Simmons?
No. And I know people that have known him for a long time, and I don't think that he is committed to basketball the same way that Russell Westbrook is.
I think that's a fair point of view. All right. I don't think you need to know people to ascertain that.
There was a point where he was like really good, though.
Oh yeah,
like he was second in defensive player of the year, like the second best defensive player in the entire league.
I mean,
look, I think that his legacy is not going to respect how effective he was when he was at his peak on the Sixers.
I mean, look, sometimes you get hung up on the past too, just like I do. Like, I mean, I'm still thinking that Zion might turn around one day. You have totally forgotten the Kevin Durant Phoenix era. I mean, it's like everybody has just forgotten that happened. We're just acting like that didn't happen. We're going to act like Kevin Durant went to a team.
We were doing this show a year ago, and I was like, I think the Suns could win the West. Honestly.
So this is worse than my Zion hope. At least Zion's skinny.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, next.
All right. Why has it been so quiet with Pablo Torre and Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers?
Okay.
And I want to entertain all sorts of conspiracy theories on this one, because he was Ivy dripping up with us with news. Every other day was a new bombshell, and all of a sudden now it's crickets. What happened?
Well, he booked that guy that won the Democratic primary thing for mayor in New York, right? Wasn't that the last pod? Rohan Mandami or whatever. Didn't he have him on for something?
We're not getting into that.
No, yeah. I'm saying I think he had him on there.
The New York City mayor thing is it's a whole.
No, I think Pablo had him on his show. Anyway,
I wouldn't be surprised.
He did. It was like, it was about tickets to the Ryder Cup or something. I didn't listen to it. Sorry, Pablo. I love you. Look, he's waiting for what Adam Silver is going to levy, and if it's not a hardcore,
then he goes over the top. Yeah, I like this.
This is LeBron leverage. This is, hey man, do what you're supposed to do. But so understand,
it's 2 second-round picks and $100,000 fine, and then Pablo drops another pod.
Correct.
I like that. That.
If it's a wrist slap, we get more. If it's a big penalty, right? It's kind of like you remember when Baxter Holmes got everybody fired? The Clipperland and
yes.
Phoenix. He got everybody right. He got that owner like done in Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. It's like all right, like you did right. We'll let it go. It's over now. So
here's how I like to think about it. Pablo goes to the bodega and he's ordering a tuna sandwich, and two gigantic men in suits walk up on each side of him and say, "You're coming with us outside." He's like, "Let me get this tuna sandwich." They're like, "Forget your tuna sandwich." And they walk him down the street and they put their arms around him, like friendly, but kind of menacingly. And they say, "Pablo, we've had enough of this. You're going to stop talking about the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard. We appreciate that." I don't think that happened, but I like the idea that happened.
It's way more David Stern than Adam Silver. It's like, you know what I mean?
I like the idea. I don't think that happened, and obviously I know Pablo. It didn't happen, but I like the idea of that happening. Someone being like, "You're causing too many waves in the lake, and we're going to take you out of the environment."
I think that it is. I think that Pablo will look at it as disrespectful to his reporting if they get a slap on the wrist. Therefore, he will take the necessary actions for him to not be disrespectful.
There's one more in the chamber.
That's what I think.
There's one more in the chamber.
I think this is just like, oh, really? Because like if you're not going to respect what I've already reported and hold them accountable, and you're going to give them a slap on the wrist, then I'm going to make a fool out of you. I would be really worried about that if I was them. I'm not kidding. I would be really worried that, like, oh,
That's
God, what
interesting.
else does he have?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
if we
levy out a punishment,
he's going to make a mockery
just for
of
the
us.
crime.
Yes.
Then he's going to do one more pod.
Yes.
I'm also wondering, like, who's like combing through the bankruptcy files of Aspiration? Like, how did that even start?
It's the guy that hates his job.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's thankless. Horrible. That's a horrible gig. All right. Last one I've got for you. What non-all-star acquisition do you think will be the most impactful for a team this year? I.e., a Cam Johnson or a DeAndre Ayton, somebody that has not made an all-star team.
I think Cam Johnson's like the easy answer, so I'll skip it.
Well, and honestly, it's not a for certain that Cam Johnson will be an upgrade on that team over Michael Porter.
That's the thing is, like, because I pay a lot of attention to what people are saying and like the narratives and whatnot, and the idea that he's this huge upgrade over Michael Porter Jr. is kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
It seems like
you half a dozen
versus 6. It's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, I can see that being a net neutral.
Right.
But the one I want to say is based on the 12 minutes that I watched of Trae Young talking about Pat Bev and him mentioning Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and I'm kind of sold on the Hawks.
Really?
I'm kind of sold on the Hawks.
You think Alexander-Walker's, do you think that it will be a bigger loss than people expect it to be in Minnesota?
You put those words in my mouth. What I'm saying is I think he's going to be a key player for the Hawks, because when you have Dyson Daniels and then you bring in Alexander Walker, like, you can cover up for Trae Young. Trae Young does a lot of great things on the offensive side of the floor. He's not a defensive stopper, and he can get picked on, but I think that you up the sum of the parts on defense by adding Alexander Walker.
They hated Trae Young in that list. To go back to the very beginning of the show, they had him 29th.
That's disrespectful for someone who
mega disrespectful.
So what's he get? Like, I don't have the numbers in front of me. 8 assists and 24 points. Like,
no. 11.6. He led the league in assists.
That's like 50 points. You know what I mean? Like, that he brings to a basketball floor. I'm higher on Trae Young than others.
People can hate him all they want. That dude was the best player on a team that made a conference finals. You cannot take that away. That happened. I don't care about the circumstances.
Yeah,
everybody.
There were some circumstances.
But
there were some circumstances.
There's always circumstances. Always.
Fair.
Always. The best player on the opposing team in a Game 7 tore his Achilles in the first quarter.
Yeah,
there is
11
always
assists last year. I don't have his numbers in front of me.
11.6.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love Trae Young's offensive game. And I think that Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to help make up for what he doesn't have on the other side of the floor. And I think that the Hawks are just – people talk about Desmond Bane on the Magic and blah, blah, blah. I love the Hawks this year.
By the way, you can apologize to me right now. Apologize to me about the second Desmond Bane got traded. Oh, he got so much better. They moved him from 60th to 39th. 60th to 39th. Then he changed uniforms. Unbelievable.
Verno, you know what this means?
What?
You have to move. You have to move.
I know, right?
You stayed in my place. We've got plenty of room. Come to New York City.
My ranking would be so much higher.
Yeah, the mismatch numbers are going to go through the roof.
We
got room for you. We got room for you.
No, I'm just a small market nothing. It's not like he and he went to Orlando. It's not like he went to the friggin' Lakers. I understand guys getting and look, and here's what I'm saying.
If he gets an oblique injury, I'm going to start asking questions.
No. And don't get me wrong here. I love Desmond Bane. My point is Desmond Bane was always that good. He just wasn't. He wasn't recognized as that good until he got traded.
Well, he's also not loud good.
Right.
He's not like hoops highlights, like Twitter, Instagram good like that.
No.
Like, it's not like he's not dunking on people and doing Ja Morant stuff or LaMelo Ball stuff. So it's just
he's great
unnoticed.
Shooter good.
Yeah, but catch and shoot doesn't get you viral on the internet. You know what I mean?
Fair. All right.
I got one more question for you before we go. What you been watching before the NBA season starts?
Honestly, like football, and now I'm going to be watching the Ryder Cup. And so, like, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I have not watched anything on TV. I did, I went through that whole bit of the documentaries, all the murder documentaries,
if there's a murder,
the cruise documentaries, all that crap. I watched all of those. I burned through all the seasons of The White Lotus, as that was the one cultural touchstone thing that I was like, all right, I might as well. And I got to be honest with you, I found myself, this is something fun, and it may inform me doing some other ones. I went back and listened to like the Ringer recaps,
the pods.
Like
they're so good.
Chris Ryan and Andy Greenwald. I would watch an episode and then, like, on my way to work the next day, listen to them talking about the episode.
It's so weird that, like, I will watch an hour episode of White Lotus and then listen to 6 hours of people talking about that 1 hour of White Lotus.
I enjoyed that every bit as much as I did the show.
It's so much fun in real time.
That's the one accomplishment I had, I think, during the summer of it. I was like, I could actually pull this one off. Like, God. I could get through.
You just called that an accomplishment. You realize you just said that was an accomplishment.
Well, I just don't watch
fucking television show.
But because I am so unaware of what people are talking about. Like, all I watch is sports. All I watch is, I'm not kidding. I'll watch like movies. You know what I mean? Like if it's good, like maybe if it's like but if it's a big one, like not many. Like I still have.
Did you see Weapons?
No.
Weapons, dude. Weapons. Like I don't want to oversell it. It's fine, but it's good. It's worth your time.
I went to the movie theater today.
Ooh, let me guess. Were you with one of your children?
My son went with me, but I was doing it because a friend asked me to.
What'd you see?
The Kanye West documentary.
Oh, hell no.
Yes,
I have no interest. I have no interest.
It was not.
I have no interest.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I had seen all the clips online, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it. The guy followed him around with the camera for 6 years, and, I was hoping it would give me insight as to why.
I'm so over Kanye.
He's a self-sabotager. There's no way around it.
I'm just so
and you just get to watch him self-sabotage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Things I'm watching is I'm watching Task, and I'm listening to Bill and the excellent Rob Mahoney and Joanna Robinson talk about it. I started texting them about it.
What show?
Task.
I've never even heard of it.
It's the new HBO Sunday night 9 p.m. show.
Oh,
they always have like that spot.
Yeah,
there's only 3 episodes
White Lotus spot,
so far.
right?
Yeah, it's the White Lotus spot. It's the spot.
Game of Thrones. Yeah,
it's the spot. So, and I listened to Rob and Joanna and Bill talk about it, and then I text them about it, and I text them so much that they just stopped responding. They probably have blocked me, but I have a lot of thoughts about the program, and I'm also.
Would you encourage me to watch it or no?
Yes, this is a good one. This is a good one. Yeah,
what is
it's only
about?
3 episodes.
All right, tell me what's
I'm
about.
not going to tell you a single thing about it. Just watch.
What do you mean you're not going to tell me what it's about?
It's ridiculous. Heat. It's Heat. It's the movie Heat. Is what it is.
Oh,
it's Heat.
No, it's Cops and Robbers.
It's Cops and Robbers. It's Heat. That's what it is.
And I like Cops and Robbers.
But you end up loving the bad guys. You're like, why do I love this piece of shit? You know what I mean? Like, this guy's a true piece of shit, but I don't want to see anything bad happen to him. I don't know why I feel this way.
We've been trained. It's anti-hero stuff.
Yeah.
I got you.
There's that. And my wife today, because I flew from Toronto, I did a Spotify thing. Shout out to the salespeople of Spotify. It was excellent. Spotify sessions. And she's like, you have to start watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. I was like, do I? So I watched the first 4 episodes and I cried. About a 16-year-old's love life.
My wife watched it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I relate to the parents way more than the kids. You know what I mean? I watch it and I'm just like, I don't care about the kids. I'm worried about the parents. Why aren't these people together anymore?
Maybe I'll do the task thing. I have found myself.
Do task.
If I'm not watching like a game, like if there's not a football game on, I found myself. I watch YouTube golf and I watch like all those guys that do YouTube golf. Yeah. It's a huge subculture. I watch it a lot. I watch YouTube golf. Oh, I am getting up.
Like the guys tell you how to swing or whatever and give you little tips.
No. Like all the guys that they film themselves playing golf and they do
So you watch other people play golf the way my son watches other people play video games.
That's right.
Oh God!
And I'll be up at.
Should not admit that. I can't. Jesse, cut that out.
I'm going to be up at 6 a.m. watch the Ryder Cup tomorrow. In fact, you should drive up to Bethpage Black.
Someone told me that. I was in Toronto, and the Uber driver, I had this great Uber driver. This guy was like a hockey guy. You could tell that he's never lost a fight in his life. He was 250, 6 feet, real Canadian, had a thick accent. And he was like, oh, bro, I can't do an accent. Oh, bro, Bethpage Black, the Ryder Cup is there. You should go. And I was just like, I'm not going to watch other people play golf. I'm not going to tell my wife, sorry, I'm not going to be around to take care of the kids tomorrow. I'll be gone for 13 hours to watch some other guys play golf. No chance I'm doing that. There's no chance. Chance.
Yeah.
No chance. But I do like opening up my FanDuel app and betting hole by hole. I love that.
There you go. All right. By the time we speak again, we will have had a bunch of media days. Training camp's going to be getting going, and hopefully there won't be any more big injuries before the season kicks off, because the VanVleet thing was a true bummer for Houston fans and, frankly, any NBA fan. I mean, it's just awful to have that happen. So hopefully we go injury-free throughout this next week when the media days and training camps are all getting going. Thank you to our executive producer, Jesse Lopez, as always, and Jacoby. I'll talk to you next week.